Customer is looking to get an estimate to replace their backyard deck here and their steps. So we're going to start out with the steps first. So they've got steps that are in between their house and their garage. And the two steps that are wedged in here are staying nicely, like, because they're probably anchored into the sides. The two that are lower than it look like they've just broken away. They were concerned about damage that could happen to their stucco if we were to take out that top step. So as a compromise, what I said is we'll leave those top two steps in because they're basically wedged in there. They're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So we would veneer over those, and then we'd replace the bottom two steps with built steps. So the material is going to be Chilton, and with for the risers will be Chilton with either buckskin or dolomite accents. One or the other, they're not sure yet. It depends on what they're going to use for the patio stone, but I'll get to that in a second. So Chilton and either dolomite or buckskin accents, and then the treads are going to be 1.5 inch limestone. I know that we have to get those ordered, but the 1.5 inch limestone to get it underneath the threshold that they have up there. So yeah, so we'll have to dig a footing for this because it's sunk, it's tilted away, all that good stuff. So we have to make it as stable as possible. Nick, I might actually suggest anchoring into the wall over here on the side, similar to it if you can. Yeah. So that's the step. Now, see if I can get a video to show you this. If you look at their deck, I'm not sure if it's at the very least level. It might actually be coming uphill to a certain degree, and then they have this little I'll call it a step that's out here at the sidewalk. So this step is actually very short. It's only 4 inches tall. So what I said is that we'd boost this up to a standard 7.5 inch step. We'd take out this walkway here, and by giving a pitch to their patio, which is where the deck is going to be, we can make everything the same height. So this is about 6 inches right over here. If we gain, 2 or 3 inches on the height there and give this a pitch coming down, we should be at a fine pitch to get from point A to point B and not have a significant and to have a fine feeling patio in their backyard that's not pitched too much, because obviously it's a nuisance to have a deck that's a weird height coming off their sidewalk. So the only kicker is that obviously we have to hit the threshold of their door right here. So yeah, we're going to build a step here. We're going to take out the runners and leave them out, but we will put in a little landing right here for it. And then the patio is going to stay in a similar footprint to what it was going to be, or to what it currently is. It's 25 feet from the house to the corner of their garage right here. We have 18-inch steps, 18-inch deep steps, and we're going to bid this between either using laurel or very colorful bluestone. They didn't really they liked the bluestone, but they really liked the colorful bluestone. The regular bluestone was a little too cool of a color. So this north side of it is, you probably can't see here, but it's actually raised out of the ground. So because of the raising and shrinking a little bit, it's not going to be raised too much at the corner, but as it comes along over here, it is going to be outside of the height of the ground. So let's see if I can show you from this side. Right now it's got a little bit of a lip off to it, so that's why we're putting in steps right here. We're going to bid to keep it in the same footprint as it currently is. It's going to be raised probably around 12 inches on this far side and 12 inches on the back side as it's coming along over here. So, and then we're going to bid to put a little bit of a pad here. So it's 5 feet by, I want to say it's like 6.5. Is that right? Yeah, 6.5-ish feet coming over here, and we'll do that in whatever the patio stone is. So I've given them the number, and they're going to go to look at Origin to see if laurel versus bluestone, so they can see it in person. Once again, risers, anything. Along this back side here, where you're never going to see the stone, at least not anytime soon, we're just going to use Road Chilton. But then as we come around, we'll go ahead and put the accent pieces back in for this space over here. So using the the road, the single size stone, should help make it nice and easier to get height. So that way you're not trying to match heights. It's just quick and easy. Pull it across. So there was discussion about cutting, like it's not going to change the square footage, but like doing a flare out at the end and coming back in, just kind of a small little semicircle thing here. I said, you know, if you want that, we can talk about it if we do the job. But that's just mostly to let you know, Nick, that there might be a curve on just the outside part here. They originally thought about having a curve in the patio, but I said for a raised patio, a sharp curve just doesn't look right. So this is their driveway right off the alley. This is over by Tom Baltudis. I think that they actually share an alley with them. I think this is the alley that he's on, but I'm not quite sure. Dumpster, not a problem. Crush rock, not a problem. Access would be through that driveway right there. They're aware that we're pretty busy, so it wouldn't be until August that we'd be able to get to them. I think that's about it, man. I'm blown away by how junky that step is. It's just falling apart. So